We've cleared the trees here a little bit. And here was the sell point last night. I was pointing out with the RSI, but you can imagine the RSI. Just think about it being too fast of a move for conditions. And then you could see a backlash. So here I'm running the 4-hour euro dollar. The most manipulated currency on the planet, that's the beauty of it, is that there's plenty of trading to be done. If you're trying to make 10 pips, they're giving you a nice tight spread. Under a pip with commissions, so half a pip. That's fair. $5 on a 10K. And so whatever you're going to risk. Now, I'm kind of swing trading and scalping at the same time. This account I'm letting go through all the sequences that were pre-written. I haven't moved any stops or take profits. The only thing I will do, though, and hopefully the market's going to crush north now into this void, the looming vacuum, so to speak. And I'm referring to this top at the 25-yard line. This slot here is the oldest known price zone. The next older, which we've kind of tipped into that window and people have taken advantage of that. I think people sold off of this wick and they made X. You can see it on the 1-hour chart. With the 1-hour traders were able to pull off that. So if you had sold this double top in Asia, as you were coming into the these are constantly changing structures, you know. It's a real train wreck. So had you put your sell limit here, which I marked off on the 4-hour, probably it's the high of the day. Naturally, it's the high of the day. So selling into the high of the day, and where are the confirmation traders getting in? Breakout pullback to the breakout point. Where are they getting in? You can see it on the 1-hour chart. So it's no secret. Should be no secret, these patterns. So this isn't some kind of it's just a structure thing. It's a ceilings become floors, floors become ceilings, and then there's the ceiling within the ceiling. There's a room within a room, right? So you also have the whole building to consider. So you got wings, and the market goes off in a tangent very quickly. It's very suspicious. It's the time to get in. So here, when this was crashing down, I pulled the trigger, see? I had to be here for these. I had to pull that trigger. That is a 8-hour script. I know that for certain. So I know for certain that this is the 1-hour chart. I know for certain they filled these two racks that I put in. And so here could have been a breakout strategy right here. You could have said, well, geez, for an hour, nothing's happened. And besides, we're about to crush into the floor. So you could have got on the train here, left this spot. Let the market off here. You could have left this spot, right? This is your classic setup. Low volatility. Breakout traders are getting in, and this is the big breakout. We fall through this floor. Right, so buyers come in heavy. Where? Right there. The biggest buyers with the deepest pockets, and they're buying very bigly. And they get out here at the floor. They scalp. Well, they probably got out when it filled this vacuum, because once that's satisfied, it's time to go down here and fuck these people over. The market's very volatile. If you're in very big, you'll notice it. So, you know, it's a lot to take in. And you could sit here and said, well, I'm going to sell the next time it comes up here, and you would have been perfectly right in that thing, you know. If you put sell limits in this pocket, you never got filled. So if you're too conservative and you got sell limits above here and they don't fill you till they make it there, did those last all week? Now, there's orders that you can put in that last all week that make total sense, and they may not fill for 3 days, and you don't want to babysit 28 charts. Even at the end of the day, they may seem easy to you, but to me, every time I look at one of these train wrecks, I think, well, what about this train wreck right now? Like, what can you do about what's here right now? And this is a smoother train wreck, I'd say. I mean, sure, you can tell me about I don't know what happened to the euro during the Swiss franc depegging. I'm sure it took a run. But since there's such a balance of trade there, right? There's no order imbalances. That's what causes you a depegging, is that there's nothing on the other side of that, and then people are like, well, what the fuck can I get filled? And the anxiety level goes up, and then people are like, well, like the Greek thing, here only allowed $50 out of your ATM supposedly in the Greek thing. So what are you going to do about that, right? So Bitcoin's the overflow. And Bitcoin is only going up in price because people are trading it. The spread's tighter, let's say. Okay, so we're going for a little run here into the top of the hour. And I'm going to ride this through the night now. And we're coming into Wednesday, so I figured we're creaking into the northern hunt the bear stops. People with real long period stops. So the 4 hour guys, they've got, like, the robot has just placed a stop at this fractal, I'm certain, and here is another place there are stops stacking up. And everywhere there in between, right? But for us, for me, when we take out this fractal, I'm not buying anymore. I'm not adding to this position because I'm assuming that I'm getting in here. If I show up and I see we haven't taken out this yet, it's not too late to board the trade, in my opinion, because we have low true range on the 4 hour. It's not too late to sell with a tight stop. It's not too late to sell with a tight stop. I'm sure this was divergence here. 1, 2. The 1, 2. People talk about 3 drive. I'm like, what about 2 drive? 2 drive's more brutal. Like 1, 2, bam. It's not 3 drive. This is 1, 2. I mean, not 3 drive. People are talking like 5, actually. 1, 2, 3. I say, oh, that's a triple top. Yeah, but look at this brutality of shear down, up into the floor, shear down. Then you buy it, then you dump it, then you either reload or you just hold it, right? It's only pulled back 25 pips, so you're either holding through these 25 pip swings to dump it for 50. And if you're not in this thing on the long side, your obvious thing is to start selling above here, and it's just how many tickets you're going to lay in here. So doesn't get any better than that. You put a ton here, and then beyond here, you sell everything you own for a pullback to here. Just like you will here, everything you sell up into this, you have to assume the ultimate trade would be, okay, comes back here, maybe a little bit deeper, and comes back to here again. But once we cleared this failed. This was the sell I talked about last night, where I wouldn't take it, even though on RSI, well, on the RSI, I think 1 hour chart or this chart here, like this is a classic counter move into this bottom on time, and then okay, here comes the sellers, but this is such a too fast of a move, and it's really about coming in and cleaning up this area and sweep the floor. Now it's free sailing. I mean, at this point, I could move to take profits and I could make about $13,000, but that means right now I'm in a over $2 million position. I'd have to move 2,000 tickets up. If I could move 500 up. You start frantically clicking. I've done it before. You start frantically clicking, and then you're like, well, you know what? You're just going to have to take the profit that you set. You can't get that carried away, right? So I am, and this broker is running the computer so slow. There's so many tickets in here. Every time you open up this chart, it's just like you have to wait for every ticket to repaint. Okay, so I'm just going to let that go because I'm not going to sit here and micromanage it. So I'll get to $32,000, I imagine, by the end of the week. I don't even know if I let everything go. I've got 100 pip take profits on here. I can just walk away and never touch it. I could even buy in pullbacks like 100K, 50K, right? Once you get to the accounts of this size, then you could do whatever you want. Right? I mean, within reason, right? You don't have to trade so hard. So yeah, if you want to build an account and then kind of retire it and barely trade it, but you can't trade it so fucking hard. That's how you got it from $2,000 to $10,000. Once you get to $10,000, you're like, okay, we can risk $7,000. But when it gets to 32 grand, you'd be risking like hopefully $1,000 to make $2,000 and just live off the account, right? Trusting that, okay, I'm presupposing the broker's funds are safe. Otherwise, what you're trying to do is make a chunk and just keep a low balance in there because you know how to trade with $1,000. You don't need $10,000 to trade. Like if you need $10,000 to trade, then you have no respect for, I don't know. If you could do it with $300 or you could do it with $1,000, you're like, okay, all right, but then it depends what you're doing. I mean, in forex, apparently you can, with the right broker, you can just go berserk. They don't give a fuck how many tickets you're running. Some brokers are like, oh, you know what? You just, sorry, 200 tickets. Like, what are you, fucking nuts? So yeah, it depends. And it's a whole field of that stuff going on. But here I'm just running what I think to be, my only way to approach it is to just keep clicking. So I've clicked a lot of clicks. I've clicked 10,000 clicks so far on this account. I think estimate about 12,000 clicks because I've been getting in at the market with 5 pip stops and just going, I think I'm going to pile into this right now. So I'm on the tablet and I'm just hammering away, but the broker's not taking the tickets fast enough. So it's a little bit not exactly like I want it to be. But hey, if I put in, so I'm trading just solely on this 8 hour. I'm buying always 8 hours. It seems like for 8 hours I'm willing to buy from 2 to 18 pips deep on the euro. I could drop that script every hour, and at some point the market's just gonna run out of downside fuel, and it's gonna come back. But that's only gonna make like about maybe $80 or $100. You got to have something else up your sleeve. So you got to have like, okay, I'm going to accept that this isn't a trend here. And on the daily, it's fucking stupidly going up. I think I'm going to have to join these trend traders. Now, in this chart, it looks a little scary because I'm like, fuck, isn't that coming into that giant well, that vacuum of sell? Yeah, it'd probably rip back out of there. And of course, that's why I'm getting out of the fucking area. I'm getting out of about, oh gosh, I'll be down to $2,000 a margin once this thing goes sweeping up. So that's all. Then you just could retire the account, man. You could just say, you know, I just don't care. Just made $30,000. So yeah, you could do that. This broker will let you do it. So, pretty decent spread. Except I tell you, don't get into this anything but the euro with this guy because they'll widen the spread on here. And you drive a truck through it. You drive a whole jet plane through it. A whole Boeing. So I understand the Boeing issue. Here's Boeing. Too many sensors talking to too many sensors, and people haven't been trained on what the sensor says. But I love how the government wants to put an alarm on something like the smoke alarm. When I hear it, I'm almost having a fucking stroke. So I figured, well, maybe they're getting kickbacks from like heart surgeons or something. How would they engineer this smoke alarm to be so, brutal? And if it's low on a battery, oh, it's like a water torch. It's chirping at you. Okay, so top of the hour here, we're going to hold through this thing, and with the breakout trade, it's a great breakout trade right now. Even though I didn't breakout trade it, I can see that for confirmation to stay in the thing and have some confidence that we're going to clear into that blue void above, then, you know what, cash me out. And I don't give a fuck. Go flat, drop in limits, 10 pips apart, all the way to Memphis. Just walk away. You cannot fucking blow this account up at that point, right? You'd really have to trade manually, giant manual style, because you're only risking here about at max $5 per ticket. And Jesus, I traded fucking I'd say 10,000 tickets on this thing. Some of them, I must say, at least I had a 50-cent stops. Admittedly, I did trade with 5, like an idiot. I traded at 5 pip stops on here, but I was kind of rapid firing, kind of a obvious scalp I considered it to be. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy back the spread and the commissions every fucking time. So if you're going to scalp this thing, you better be really good because and you have really fast servers so you can get out of the trade. I saw the Ryan Brown thing. His video. Did anybody catch his robot chased the market at the market and it blew it up. He fucking was down 39%, right? Like who can see that happening? I mean, that's obvious. We all knew that was we all knew that was the problem there. This people build the EA that's going to chase price, right? It's just going to go rocketing up there, and it's just going to buy into it, and maybe it is scalping out. But that's why he said that Trader's Way was fucking him over. No, dude, your robot's asking too much of the market, especially if the I don't know if he turns it off during the news, but as soon as the market takes off on a run and it starts chasing, anybody ever do that trade themselves? Demo or real? That you're like, what the fuck just happened? We were just going up a second ago. Like, if nobody's ever seen price move in forex before, and they show up, the Swiss francs being depegged, and they just think that's the starting gate. Then they're like, God, the market's boring. What happened, man? Their first day on the job, they're working at some bank they get hired on. There must be a story. Can't somebody find out who the guy? It's like 9/11. Who's the guy that showed up first day at work right out of college green? He's working at this brokerage firm, and all of a sudden they depeg the Swiss franc. He's like, why is everybody so glum, man? I'm liking this new place. Oh, the coffee machine, girls are hot. Yeah, I like this new job I got. Well, this is pretty good starting wage here. Why is everybody so glum? What the fuck? There's got to be some untold stories. Man on the street, yeah, I was working there and I was in the mail room and I don't know, people got an attitude all of a sudden. They said, hey, let me go. I'm like, wow, geez, excuse me. So yeah, back in the but it's been fun doing this, and also I've got the Oanda account running. Just by stupidity alone, I put those giant swing trades out there last all week, and lo and be fucking hold. I come to the account, it's up. I'm up big on this British pound trade. Yeah. If you're in the United States, this is look at it. I'm up $290 on this account like an idiot. I'm trading it like an idiot, full-blown moron. A goddamn drooling guy with a drool cup. So, is it possible to trade like this? Apparently, I don't see anything flashing, but look at this. I'm up $39. I know the risk was $10. I know it because every one of these is risking $10. That's the beauty. Money management built in. It's all built in. Of course, we could take off the biggest winner, bank these two, and say, okay, you know what? Or I could look at the chart and go, no, that's going up. And it is. That's just like the euro. She's drifting up. So we got to make it through this floor. This is also the obstacle right now in the daily of the British pound. Right, same problem. We know sellers want to sell at previous bottoms. Bottoms become tops. We know that one. We've heard all about it. But is it going to really work this time? Is this the new channel right here? Yeah, kind of breaking a little bit, but it would have to be something like this. We're going to walk down this. That's the story, right? Maybe buyers come in here. We know there's tons of them. Be careful. This is a 25 pip grid here, so we got to be careful still. Can't run the euro dollar scripts here. They'll just get obliterated. So this may you have to go to the 4-hour chart, I would suspect. Oh, got a nice top bottom here on the 4 hours. So yeah, if we can hold here, we're there right now. We're assuming that right now. So you have to assume a lot here. We will assume that this is the top that we took out. We pulled back. We're back in fair value. There's pressure building up here, pressure there because this is a smaller bar. That's about a 20. It's about 30 pip bar. Euro goes up. British pound kind of joins the scenery. Big sellers up here, all the way to here. This is the big wedge. Same story in this as it is in the euro. You take out this, wow, and there'll be sellers galore trading for the kickback to, well, I suppose it's going to be sell above here for a kickback to here. Just sell all the way up, you know. Here's 50 pips of selling. And look how this, right at that 25, wow. So here, low volatility, breakout traders take it up to here. And this is no volatility. This is a wedge, a pennant, a flag, a triangle. It could be a mini Gartley. It's a 4-hour chart. Then kaboomo, because this big hole's been filling up. There's 50 pips of nothing. There's only 25 pips of nothing at the top. Who has the bigger draw? The 50 pip void or the 15 pip void? Who has bigger draw? So big draw here, then a little bit more, and then big void. This void is bigger than this one's already filled up and done. Well, I guess you could say this void. Okay, it is true. You could say something like this. Well, what about this void from here to here? Isn't that as big as from? Let's see, from here. You know, this is forming underneath, but I'm counting this part forming actually. So I'm talking this. How many pips is this, as opposed to how many pips is this very vertical, void? And they finally tip into that window, and then here we go, like the 25 pip trap, bull trap, stop hunt, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I'm looking at this down here, right? See, hopefully you were buying here. It's psycho deep discount levels, the mega discount window. And look at how it just comes all the way back. I mean, it's just crushing for all the bulls, really. They're like, oh my God, like I bought here, fucking moved my stop. Of course, they stopped me out here. I got in here, and then I'm like, what the fuck? We're all the way back to where I got in? Those motherfuckers. Okay, we're going up here. In the euro, we're going up big. And I'm going to hold the British pound trade. And my target is hard, though, unfortunately. I have a hard stop and a hard take profit. That's the way it was written. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. I'm in a 6K and a... so just, all I did was... And this is all week long. For all I know, this is the one I dropped last week. It's amazing. I don't even trade like this. But it goes to show you, your total risk. You're risking like 200 to make... You're risking 100 to make 200. If all tickets fill... Here we go. We're going for a ride now. So here comes the euro. We're going to try to hunt down the bears right now. Come on, bears. Let's get some bear meat tonight. I'm telling you. I love it when it goes up. Just reminds me of a penny stock that's just going to the moon. You're watching it real time go to the moon. They're going to crush the dollar here. Dollar yen. Oh, look at that. I think I've got a little bit of a sell going on. Look at that. I got filled on one sell. But I don't like it. It looks like it's going to tip into the window. Like I was saying about the yen against the CAD. Does it look like we're just going to go crushing into the top of that? CAD yen. So the CAD yen dipped in the window here, right? Let's take a look at this. Right, so we came right into the... I think I should get out of that cell. It looks scary. But see, now that this thing caves back in, the cloud's against you. So somebody asked me about the cloud. Yeah, you have to download this one that I uploaded because I already rewrote the colors. So when I put it in the new cloud, it just doesn't look right. Because I was playing around with the colors, the way it looks, but it's about a 4-period moving average. I don't know if it's what style of moving average, but that's all it really is. Here, the problem with the cloud is, see this gap here? So I don't like to see this gap here because then you can tell this cloud is so big. So that's why I had 2 layers. I had a tight cloud and a loose cloud. So I could see the vacuum fill up. I'm looking at this not just from if I looked at this, it would be not just from the standpoint of, oh, it's blue, I should be selling. No, I'm looking at how deep this blue is. When it starts to gap away, you know you're just getting, it's ridiculous. And here, of course, you know, I'm still range trading it. I'm still looking to buy here just because, without any regard to the cloud. But I can see the trend traders are thinking here, but they could be trapped. This could be it. It could be this. It could be that. And then we're just going to melting down and start to haunt all that stuff. And just crush their dreams. Like here. Like this is the trend. Don't forget, these trend traders are they're in for fucking hell. Come on. They're like, yeah, we bought here and said everything looks so pretty rosy to me. What do you think, Jake? Oh, yeah, we curve fitted that. That's good algo you had going there. Oh, what the fuck? Mildred said that algo you boys wrote was so good, she can extra pie for you tonight. Really? Are you going to ring the triangle? We all come in and have some hot cross buns. I think that's the preferred approach these days. But here's a double top become a bottom. Isn't that slick? When all the trend traders are getting on board this sale here. Well, that's because the market makers are looking at this. See, they're going, I bet everybody's in the cloud selling into that. Oh, watch this one. Call Banker Bob. He's one of our dirty bankers. He used the RSI to trick people too. On the weekends, he'd be showing how to use that RSI. And like overbought, oversold. Everybody's getting all tricked about it. I don't know what's going on. Why is my account red? Oh, man, I don't know. I just can't take it. Okay, we're going to ride this puppy north. Now, what's going on with the New Zealand CAD? People really trading this shit? Apparently I am. I'm underwater. Look at this fucked up trade. Oh, my God. At least I scaled in. Look at my biggest ticket. It's just perfect. Hey, Martingale works. Look at that. I'm only down 7K where I'm right break even on my 5K. Yeah, I'm not taking this too seriously. So yeah, my biggest loss right now is the $7. That's a bad trade. This could come back to life. I could tighten the stop up. Here's another thing. Money management. Some guy asked me, "Do you have a script to adjust?" No. So let's just do some manual money management while we're at it. We're just going to put like a really tight stop on. Like we don't even want to be in this trade. 11 pips. And then we'll let it, blew my ears out with that. So let this thing, we'll stop the bleeding here. Yeah, we're in a pretty big position there actually. So about 4K, that's pretty juicy. Let's tighten up that stop. Jesus. Okay, that's my worst. And then, of course, at the top of the rack, I think this is very bullish. I think the dollar's going to get crushed. I don't know when they're coming out with the report, but we can trade right up into the news. So I'm trading the news, actually. I'm going to trade right into the news because the news is going to be where people just turn on a dime, right? You'll see the market go right in one direction in the news, and it may continue after that, but typically it reverses and goes the other way. So you see it drift up into the news and then rip down, or drift down into the news and rip up. Sometimes you see it would just take a little bounce and then rip down, but it depends where the hole is, right? And here there's a beautiful range trade here. I think this is worth putting in a tighter stop. Now I could hold down the Alt key and I would drag this, and I have it set so I have to hold down the Alt key to drag the take profit down to make, kind of get out of that trade. But in the United States, if you trade different sizes, apparently at the Zoanda, they're going to let you don't have to worry about first in, first out. That's why you can't trade 1Ks. Also without getting a bunch of brutal email. So I got 3 pounds going. I got 1 CAD yen, which I'm short, but I don't like it because it's spooking me that we're going to keep dipping into the northern window. Then I'm going to take off the, let's look at the CAD before I make a judgment on that. Ooh, CAD looks bullish as hell, doesn't it? Like it's trapped in here. Now this is supposed to be For the bears, this needs to become support that's becoming resistance right now, which I don't know if that's even possible. This is a daily chart, though. And what I suspect is the problem is if we make it back above this wick, which was the ultimate low that we know of, then look out, because it's probably going to rip up and the auction's done. And of course, there's the bargain hunters, I mean, the early recruits that bought this low, and they're currently underwater, so there should be a lot of people getting out there. Also, just before that thrust down, we had a doji, or a really small bar on the daily. So I like that one long, and I think euro to the pound, only a 1K here, and I did want to buy that euro to the pound. I thought that was a good trade. Oh, this is a spectacular trade. Now, I wish I was in more, right? So I'm not going to intervene. I did take off. I did move the stops. That's all I've done. And look at this one's already gotten better. See? Oh wait, no, that's a sell. I don't want to be short that, right? Oh fuck, now I got to think about it. Yeah, I don't want to be in that short. That thing's going up, so it's going to go in that hole on the north side. So I'm just going to get the fuck out of that. And then CAD yen. I got to get out of that because I think it's going to go the other way. I'm short a little bit of Swiss. I guess I'll leave that one. And the stop's too wide though, so I'll tighten the stop up here. So this is what it'd be like to actually have to, it's one thing to get in a trade, but it's another thing to manage it. So, you really should have some kind of like, okay, I'm gonna tighten my stop up, whatever. The other ones are super wide stops, and of course now I could throw in some 8-hour tickets that are very dense, that are very big, and they would fill in the United States. So I could come in with a rack that's like 1 to 10Ks. So 1 to a 10K in a whole different staggered stops, staggered take profits, right? Like a perfect fit for that situation. That's the trick, is finding, or you just have single drops that okay, I got to do the 1s, 2s, and you count them down on the chart. You lay them in. You can see where they would go. You're going to put one here because of this, put one here because of this, put one here because of this. And I realize this is a daily chart, but imagine that's the, this would be a place to buy, right? But we're probably not going to make it back there. So you got to think, well, let's start buying here then. I'll buy this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And I'm looking for the first trade to be a sweep to here. And then, of course, we can rinse and repeat like we've done many a time here. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Right? It's just like sex. A lot of up and down. And maybe no baby. Right? No goes nowhere. Well, that was a lot of work. I'm tired. But here, like, what if we creep north here? I don't want to actually be short this because it looks like this is going up with the euro for some reason. Like, they're going to join each other. It looks like it's going to creep up to me, so I'm a little spooked about being short that. So I'm going to get out of that trade. Going against my... so I'm making a decision in a way. I mean, it's kind of a hedge because I'm like, I'm up a buck. Get me out. Maybe I should throw a rack in above me now to sell. So I can do that. I can just go to the navigator and plop limits above me for the rest of the week. I could drop that every day and they could stack up. Okay, so I'm going to sit tight in this. Okay, so coming into the bottom of the hour, Asia's tightening up. We got to get the euro above 115. Got to start cleaning the bears out on the north side. The euro looks pretty strong against the pound here. Giant bullish retracement squeeze to possibly, here and here. Otherwise, forget about it. We're buying down here for certain. I mean, this would be catastrophic move for the euro there. Punished. And all Brexit talk nonsense aside, this could topple down through this low and just keep toppling, and it would be quite dramatic. I mean, it would say something, I suppose, to people's minds. It would blow people's minds, I think, because if you look at the monthly, talking about going to this hole here. I mean, this is talk about possible. Just keep on tanking into this void. I mean, you're sitting in a big giant abyss there, and of course, if they've trapped everybody here in a breakout, then wow, are we just going to range forever? This looks very spooky, like it's just going to cut into that and just keep tanking. It could be amazing. But, your interest rates here, and all those kind of things aside. But I think it's just about these things creeping into these holes, because who stood in front of their monitor back here in 2014 and said, well, if they ever take this out, Katie, bar the door. Let's get on that train. And no matter where you got on this train almost here, for 3 months you were a genius. Because maybe you saw that hole, and you go, oh, dude, that's going to fill hard, fast. Just like the one here. All this down, 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 down. Under the floor. Scalpers take off. Then, whoosh. In 1 month, it gives back a half a year of decline is taken away in a short squeeze in 1 month. You got an algo for that? So there's no algos for that. I'm sorry. There's no fucking moving. There's no indicators for that move. That's an auction move, obviously. And here it's going to be a meltdown. If you take this out, then you're going to go after this. It's happened before. It'll be on the news. It'll be a 3-year low. Euro versus pound, 3-year low. I mean, isn't this really the Brexit battleground, supposedly? Isn't for the fundamental people, isn't the pound trying to escape the euro dollar in some way, at least for what they trade in? And look at this cavern. Can you imagine this thing coming all the way back to the starting gate? People are like, wow, that's... So, or you could just be buying this whole thing all the way down, and just any retracement, just pluck off a ticket. You got to stop like past here. You're like, yeah, okay, bring it. That's the way I look at it. Like if that's a 1 hour chart, which you don't really see a lot of. I guess this is a 1 hour. This could be a 1 hour chart, and this is each day. This is possible, right? So we could be. This is each day here, and here's a day, and then. This is the middle of the day, near the middle of the end of the day, like the middle near the end of the year. And this sideways stuff here just must have tortured all the trend traders. Don't forget all the bulls that are on this train. They're like, what the fuck? What is this shit? Well, Sarge, our algorithm's kind of fucked up this month. Really? Get back in that prop firm. Get back to the helm. Start pushing button. What the fuck? Get out of here. Don't tell me what to do. I've seen these sell-offs before. So yeah, it gets below here. Yikes! But there's certainly plenty of scalping to be done here. Like get in here, get back to here. I don't think it's going to go like this, like a Hannah forex move. Hannah gets in here, straight down. She's like, see. Here's a Hannah forex move. Sell here. Like right against my trend line. Well, we're going to go lower. Kaboom. Inverted head and shoulders. Here's the head, shoulder, shoulder. Probably divergence here on RSI. I like how the shave off that top, and that one wick shaves off that top and comes flying back and just crushes these poor people. It's so cruel. Market's just cruel to any of these goobers with their algos. I think I got it really good. This month it's been doing really good. Really good this month. The range traders are just going, okay, tell me about this again. Tell me the story about your trend trade again. Can't install updates. Doesn't bother me. Can bravely stand in front of updates. So I would buy this on limits for sure. And I'm actually long this just a little bit. I think we could go either way on this at this point. That's such an extreme sell-off. Okay, 5 minutes to the bottom of the hour. We're holding tight through this madness here. We're just drifting north in the most painful rate of change you could possibly imagine. Desperately trying to make it to this one price here. Gotta take out the high of the day. The high of the week. And then of course here, cash out zone galore to here. To there, to there. What else do we got? Buy limits below here. If I wasn't in, it'd be buy limit, and then more here, and then the deeper back in time, the more the tickets. Okay, more tickets here. So you just buy that whole vacuum fill, just like you would here. Like the vacuum's formed, you buy the fill, then it rips, or even if it just rips off of a dead cat bounce off the bottom here, right? Cash out of something. Like here, you gotta cash out of something before they just rip. Of course, this is a drip down. It looks violent there, but it's actually very orderly. 8 hour, literally every hour it's down. And then baby candle, breakout traders come in, ride it to the floor, they cash out. Another pullback, place to buy some more, little scalp, and then the big pullback, which the trend traders are loaded on the wagon here. I'm sure their 20 EMAs would have you. We're looking at this going, yeah, this is just another great place to sell. And they're right, but then of course, how much did they get out of, and was this bothering? And then that when we got to here, it was just like, whoa, I think she doesn't love you anymore. Bears don't. Bear got in the car. You seen those bears that got in the car? They're trying to drive it. Those damn bears. Hillbilly bears is what they use. Why don't we delete the objects? Today I was deleting the objects because I was publishing with the FX Blue and I was on that chart. I kept on hitting delete all objects, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because, and that's another reason I got the 1Ks on the tablet, because I don't want to fucking accidentally hit a completely retarded trade. I always make sure my gun here, which I don't trade with, I'm just using this to monitor the price. This is set to, you can set it to 0, but when you put on a trade, it'll actually default to whatever is on your system. You might be able to fix it at 0. That would be the perfect thing. Just using it as a quote. I'm just using it as a quote. So bottom of the hour is coming. We should see some shenanigans here. We'll see some volatility for in the next 2 hours, I suppose. That's typically what's coming. I'm not going to buy any more. I've got 8-hour buy limits still that are lingering here, just behind me. And then, of course, last night I got filled on these limits down here. I had them all packed in. So we're just looking for some follow through to the north here. This got to go here, go above that. We're closing in on it. Then you could go flat, or just let whatever's left drift up there. And I'll probably buy in pullbacks, actually. I'm always interested in this trade regardless of what's going on otherwise. Like, let's say, we're here, and I'm like, you know what, this thing could still tank, and I just throw in some limits. If I was on the sell side of that, if I was going to be the selling version of that, when it's down here, I just go, you know what? I think that the buyers are coming in here. And let's see, I'm just going to throw some sell limits up here, see what happens. And besides, I know that there's a time floor there. The closing prices on the 4-hour chart, I know that's there, so. So the daily chart, it's very hard to imagine the sellers are going to have much luck if you go to the daily right now. You're like, are they really going to sell that now? Tell me again. You want to sell that? Okay, I can see it. You're selling into this. We're going to go like this. Right? Buyers should come in at this top, right in here. Certainly this is the time top window. They should be coming in there. We'll buy it there. But the problem I see is, okay, so lowest volatility window for the trend traders to enter. This is the other one, but they kind of got trapped, right? A little too early. This is the deeper pullback. This might be the 386, but this is definitely the 618. So, coming after this now, and this is our obstacle, is above the 150. If we could take out the 150 by the end of the week, we could take out this and we can make it to 12. Then we have some money. And like I said, then we can just retire the account, barely trade it, and it'll always be like an unvarnished. I mean, it was really hard to blow it up after that. And then you could just, you could go trade the pound with wider stops. I'd write a script for the pound. I would certainly launch these 25 pip grids would make sense. Like here, or putting in these singles. You hit about 300 of these, that's 300K. You hit like click, 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 click. And then just wait for them to come back and pick you up. That's basically what I'm talking about. That's the situation. Okay, so we're looking for this to drift north. The 4-hour chart does say, in a way, hey, you know what's overbought? We could sell here. I would just be very leery of this. Void above us, because if I sell here, what I'm asking is that we're going to take this out, and the breakout traders are going to start making money there, and that this isn't going to pop up here first before it goes down. And this is the top that became a bottom wick to wick, and this is also the where we're at now. We're in this shelf, and so we penetrated, and the scalpers, the sellers definitely had their way with it all the way back to here, and then they go, like I don't see. They would wish it would come back to here, right? Then they could really make money, because the first guy to sell here is a break even. He really makes money when it starts to engulf right back to this zone. But I think this is a big attraction here, and then of course this one is a deep slot, and there should be a lot of fuel off of this one, because see how deep this one is to here. So I'm just taking this view here, and then of course these are on their own the deepest, and I don't mind riding if we can crush into here, breaks this out, breaks that out. We expect some kind of pullback to here. We could either add or we could just hold it. It depends how big you're in. And then you would hope for some zigzag to be on that. Otherwise, we're just going to start coming after this shit and crush down. We're going to trap people. In an hour and a half, this chart's going to update the 4-hour. And if we've already left the station, even if it's a creeper gear drift north, which is always painful if you're trying to get paid, you want it to take out this, and you want it to take out that, you just want it to slice it. And you can go, thank God, now I can start coming in with limits again. God damn it. And just kind of buy a little bit, like, so it's about this giant swing that you're trading around. And I am going to be cashing out as soon as we step into this window. I've already got my target set. I got a bank there, and then not so many here, but then another dense bank, and I clicked all that shit. I made as much diversification in my targets as possible. Some of this, obviously, I got pretty angry when it was going against me, so I put in the 100 pip winners, which you can see at the top of the rack here. And if I let this thing play out, we're talking about a lot of money. I think even the measly 5 standard lots that'll be lingering. I must put in 5 standard lots to get out in the 12s. Just way up in there in the nosebleed section. But if you look at the dailies, it doesn't look that far away at all. And I would say right now, so the reason why you shouldn't buy on confirmation is because like here was like, oh, it's going up, I'll buy. But no, it's more like, oh no, I'm gonna buy, I'm not gonna buy, then I'm gonna buy, then I'm gonna buy. You're in a 4K, right? You're underwater on these, but you could have scalped that bottom one off. You could have scalped them all and been holding two and put limits back in, and then recaptured that last assault to the downside. You know, the story here on the daily is a lot smoother, cleaner. And of course, you can see the 100 pips from here to here. That's a 100 pip move. And whether or not it's turning around the 100 pips is not the point. It's the point of saying, we just dropped 75 pips in 2 days. I can just see it clearly. I'm just using it as a ruler. I don't think it's necessarily to turn around the 100, but amazingly here, as we stop hunt into that shelf, it does tag the 100, but it tags the 25 just as well. Right? So it's just kind of like you think, oh, look, it came to the 50. Okay, yeah, but it's really about it cleared out this little thing, you know? This is where the no-nonsense people, when their algo says buy, they need to get in on limits that are like 10, 20, 30 pips deep. They want to get you got to get the best price. So if you think it's rolling over here to sell, well, okay. Not really. There's no chance of selling a limit here. Look at it. Never makes a higher high. Until here. Look at that. Look at that. This is another reason why this move's so violent. This never made a higher high for how many fucking days? Days on end. Days on end. And look at that rocket as it just crushes through there. Now it's popped the cork. Here comes inflation. What is with the coffee shop, dude? What is Starbucks doing to themselves? It's like human trafficking in there. I don't see anybody that's worked there for more than a month. I can't even. When I was this new one down the road, I'm like, God, these girls are so hot. Now we're down to just like, what, the backup crew? What happened? I guess they just got married off. Some guy went in there with a bunch of bling, carted off. All my baristas are gone. So today she says, well, she names off my drink. And I said, how do you know my drink? And I never noticed she was there. I guess she's like a fixture there because I didn't notice. The other people are coming and going like, oh my God, where's this one? She's got a bone through her nose. Honey, why do you have a tattoo on your tongue? What are these girls doing? It's like, I can see you. It's all right. You don't have to put a fucking neon sign above you. Okay, so the daily chart. Let's go look at that British pound again. I'm feeling greedy, like I want to make sure that trade's doing well. Oh, that looks bullish. Here, let's go to the Owanda chart. Especially formulated 4-hour chart. Oh yeah, that's a perfect top. This is the top becoming a bottom right now. Come on. Don't be retarded. So I'm just going to hang on to that. That's just a vicious. Imagine putting in buy limits here to capture this 75 pip move. You could have done that this week. What was preventing people from laying in a clever little, I think I'll just buy every 20 pips. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I don't have a stochastics. I don't have MACD. I think what I'm going to do here, you got blown out, but look at that. There was this British pound is great iceberg script material. You put in a bank of tickets here. Boop, boop, you're done. Trade's over. Does it get any better than that? Here's where. So, Ryan Brown, you know, you got to love this guy to death. He's the cutest goober on the planet. And his wife's so hot, you're like, oh my God. Let me show you how to trade. He puts this robot to work. And I knew that something was going to go terribly wrong when he said that he was going to, some European firm was going to hire him to trade, I thought, I want the drug that they're taking, this European firm. Like, give me some of whatever that is. It must be like some heavy narcotic, right? Think about it. Ryan Brown, a guy that references geopolitical. Well, you can see the little geopolitical. I really don't want to do based on what's going on geopolitically. Why don't you just get out tarot cards, dude? Fuck, the Gartlius are ahead of you. People with astrology trading. I trade only during full moons. What sign are you? You should be trading this. Feng Shui forex. I have to have my monitors in a certain array, and I don't know why. But yeah, so poor Ryan. His robot gloms onto this move. I hope I'm not hurting his feelings if he watches my channel, but I just want to be honest. We all knew this was going to happen to this robot. It was going to chase this move right here. And it did. And then it chased it back. That's a 4-hour chart. So you can only imagine what the 1 hour looks like inside of that psycho pin bar. That's a 200 pip backlash. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart, Hank. Let's dial into that one. Okay, show me the bad news. I've heard it all. Now hit me. And then he's trading some guy's account. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You not trading somebody's real money. Yes, he is. Good. Dude, I would never, if I had a PAM account or if I had an account, I would never let a robot chase this move. It gets in here. It starts buying. It buy. Don't forget, it's a 5-minute robot. You can only imagine, I can't really, but you can only imagine what the 5-minute chart looks like inside of that wick. Listen, dude. This is a 50 pip wick. Then it closes up there, beautifully right into the channel. Then it rips back and the robot goes short. Oh, what could possibly go wrong? Another nearly 50 pip wick. And I'm sure there was a tasty triple bottom on the 30-second chart down here. Just like this. But if your robot's trying to take advantage of this move, let's hope it's cashing out along the way. Careful with the British pound. This is like Sunday. This is Friday or Sunday night last night. That's Sunday, right? This makes sense. Why is this double? That must be some kind of like, I don't know what that is. Why is double there? This is a 1 hour chart. So how about that? How about that British pound? And look how it's just beautiful buy here. Now, to me, we're in the middle of fair value. I wouldn't even think of trying to put a fucking moving average on this thing. Are you nuts? All you got to do is when we're here, place buy limits. When we're here, place sell limits. It's just going like this. All day, every day. Twice on Tuesday. Look at that train wreck. Poor Ryan. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to quit trade. Dude, don't quit. Just drop one of these scripts and I got the fucking script tester. You like trading baskets like that? Yeah, just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10K at Oanda. You're going to have the British pound. Look at they're crushing on this. They're charging 2.5 pips in Asia on the British pound right now. They're killing people. No broker's got it that bad a spread right now at this time of night. There's no way. Okay, look at um. Oh, there's no commissions though. It oh wait, but still, look at this. Come on, under a pip. Commissions can't be a pip and a half on this. It's not even that. It's like a 0.2 of a pip is commissions at this broker. How about that gold? This thing's going to the moon. Gold is going to the moon, man. Look at this pullback. Oh, Jesus. Inflation. Here we go. Here we go. Bye-bye, dollar. Yeah, dollar's going to kind of drift down a little bit. Although gas is cheap. I can't figure that out. See, that doesn't make sense. Gold's on a tear. Don't try to sell that, man. Dollar yen's pulling back, though. Look at that. I'm going to get out of this trade, too. I think I'm up on this. Let me get out. I don't want to be in that trade. So I'm getting stingy now. I'm getting cheap. So we're still holding plenty of K here. I didn't do any gold trading. Dollar Swiss. I'd put buy limits in this one. See, to me, this is easy. As the euro goes up, this is going to go down. But how much? I don't know. I'll buy it if it plunges there. But I probably won't waste my time. It's nothing. It's if this is real money, it was nothing to manage. You know. Oh gosh, am I getting filled on that? What's going on with that? I don't care. I'd rather watch a movie. I suppose I could put in this dumb shit trade here all week, right? There you go, all week long. But I don't really like those tickets on there because of my tablet. That comes up. Anything that I have pending in here, unfortunately, comes up. So, the symbol's activated. Okay. Still creeping to the north side. Staring down the bears stops. British pound is in a beautiful buy mode here. I'm also not going to buy this and have to worry about where my losses are coming from. This pair, but this is an obvious trend line breakout. Confirmation breakout of trend line here. Trend line at close. Broke out. We pulled back. We're off to try to fill this void on the north side. The counter trend traders are very happy to sell at the round number to make 50 pips in probably 2.5, probably 4 hours, 6 hours. Trying to go on after this wick, take out that, cash out, be a heavy seller up here for the rest of the week in some regard. Some sizing, some kind of sizing. Size matters. Progressive sizing is soft risk. So I have very soft stops, soft take profits. Yeah, gold's on a tear, isn't it? So, all right, there she goes. So we're still trying to nudge past this on the daily. Take out yesterday's high. Continued the breakout of this 4-hour chart. So now we're banging up against this rooftop that is 8 hours old now. The moment of truth approaching into the top of the hour. I'm going to stick with all my targets. I'm going to try to pop above that. So in 11 minutes, let's see what's going on. Come back in 11 minutes. So it's been 6 hours, and I bought this, bought a little bit more here on this 4 hours of no change, unchanged. So the trend trader's entry is going to be, with tight stops, it's always going to be this drift down, come in, and even the breakout last night is still a winning trade right now. So if you bought the breakout here, okay, now here's where you would have been trapped on the south side had you run. And then ultimately, the doji, the clichéness of the market is a little bit too much for people to handle, I think. Look at this beautiful doji. And if you don't think candlesticks are, you can make money from candlesticks, and you can't see the trade plan you need to run there as a, either non-directional, or you could say, I'm just going to sell because, my God, it's not going anywhere. I'm going to sell because it's not going anywhere, make a few pips. Okay, it's not going anywhere. Let's just put a hedge on. Look at this inverted hammer. According to the clock, it was up here, now it's down here. There's no mention of this. No mention of that. And of course, to the trend traders, there shouldn't be, because if they took into account every one of these spikes, it would throw off their indicators, would be all crushed. But I guess the idea there is that they're trying to include this ATR. So there's a big scuffle going on in the Discord this morning. It's pretty funny. It is a room called Trade Calls inside of the No Nonsense Discord, and these guys are going at it. It's so cute. The one guy's like, "You're a fucking idiot." No, he goes, "You're so dumb that when you wake up in the morning, don't you know that you're still dumb?" And it's called Trade Calls for a reason in here. And then we finally had the blessed 19 show up and say, "Can't we all just get along?" No, shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. So, really, very entertaining stuff. Cool. So the big, from a 4-hour basis, it's kind of obvious. You could have traded breakout trades here. Okay. You could have said, well, I don't know. Here's another doji entry, another small body. How many small body trades are there? There's this one, right? This one. This one's not, because, at some point, we opened there. I don't know how that. Oh, yeah, closed there, so we just kind of gapped a little bit. And that is, at that time of day, at 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that, 5 p.m. So if 5 p.m. the spread got wide there, that's why that looks kind of weird, the chart. Which means that bid was pulled way down, the ass was pulled way up, and you just don't see it, and that's why you wonder, well, how can I get in this trade? Well, maybe you couldn't have, because if you put a sell stop here, the spread might have been so shitty that, they're filling you too early, and then here, if you're running a very tight stop, protecting your sells, they took you out before you experienced this crush into here, right? Into here, into there. Okay, that's where you're buying. You don't need a 15-minute chart. A lot cleaner here, a lot more obvious. You wake up in the morning, you sold here thinking it was going to come back to here, and it's not. Everybody's thinking the same thing. It should be obvious at this point, and some guy in the no nonsense in the call window says in the Discord, he goes, well, something about, so funny to watch people, how they react. Oh, he said something about the enemy is the big banks. Oh, those big bankers are going to make it go up here, and I'm short. Oh, no. And also, don't forget the big banks algos that sniff out like, well, there's nothing going on here. What could possibly go the other way? Who's not trading option hedges, butterflies on top of your nonsense? Your total nonsense forex. Who's not just crushing your shit to pieces? You can't see the void. You can't see the path of least resistance. It's always forming below and above. That's what makes the triangle. So this big, nice, like, oh, look at this. Let's sell into that. I don't know, because this could have something to do with why it just ripped the other way. So we got to take out this wick. I've been waiting 6 hours now. I'm just about over it. No sell-off in London. They denied the bears one last gust of wind down the tubes. So the impending doom is this wick and what's going to happen here. Get to the 25-yard line. I suspect people will come and sell and will come to here. But what's going to happen here is going to be insane. So hopefully we get this done. Get over the hump. I want to see the reaction here. I suspect there'll be tons of selling. I'm getting out there. On most of this, I added to about 40K here. Put 40K on more. And of course, this would be the, the obvious liquidity stop hunt, whatever have you. Whatever people want to refer to that as, the void of least resistance. It's going to be like in 3 hours. If you can just get above here, yeah, I suppose there'll be a crush, pull back. Right now I'm cashing out. As this crushes up, I'm not going to stress the account with thinking in terms of, oh yeah, well, it's coming up here for sure. I do think it could come up here for sure, but I'm in so heavy that if I don't cash out, I'm doomed. Now, if I cash out, I can come back and put in limits 7 pips apart and just have them stack up for 12 hours, right? The rest of the week is a no-brainer. Once you cross that threshold of any one of these kind of psycho moves, don't have to forget all the breakout trading, mechanical trading, so to speak. You got a buy stop here and a sell stop here, and God damn it, you're making some money here again. And then big breakout here. Well, if you roll that gust down, but there's always somebody on the other side of that trade, the big banks. And this wick here, that's going to be, wow, trap zone, looks really like it's making new weekly highs, it looks very bullish at that point. So here, I'm about to cash out. Now I am going to put the buy limits in trailing beneath. Since I want to add to the position, actually, if I can, just a little bit. I'm going to go back to this 2 pips to 18 with a 30 pip stop for 8 hours. It's only a 4K, but every time you hit that, it's for 8 hours. It's stacking up. I like that trade because the market's capable of coming back 18 pips in 8 hours or 20. Well, you just pick the number. The rate of change is what you're picking. So this is 8 hours. It's like 50 pips in 8 hours here. So if I was going to buy 50 pips deep in 8 hours, I'd just go to the one singles, the buy singles up here at the top. And I'd say, okay, here is literally, I'd say 10 pips per hour is 40 pips deep for 4 hours. I don't have one. So here you're expecting it to drop 20 pips an hour, right? So you're trying to catch a falling knife. You're trying to throw out, somewhat more precision than here. It's more work because you got to go, okay, click, 12 hours. We're talking about risking $2 to make $4 though. But hey, 1,000 tickets at $2 is $2,000. 1,000 tickets, $2. So you're risking, maybe you have 10 pip stops or dollar stops in there, but $2. With some actually 4, but there's less of those. So overall, your risk of ruin, which is seriously low on this account because of that cashing out factor, I suppose. I even ran some 7 pip winners here. Like, so as we crush into this window, it'll just be like, wow, we're just unloading about $1,500 a margin. We're getting at about 3 standard lots as we go up. All incremental. So all 1Ks and just more work, but less risk. Right? Double check, double check. Okay, we're slightly in here. We're risking $10. Now we're risking 100. Now we're risking 3,000. Now we're just putting in. So I ran that script there. This when the Swiss franc was crashing, I kept buying like that, thinking, well, this Swiss franc barely moves, and fuck, I'm buying with 20 pips deep with 30 pips stops every 6 hours, and it just keeps hammering down. And then when I said, well, the count's about $7,000 underwater here, $7,000 pullback off of 20 grand, so down like 13 grand. Oh, geez, But lo and behold, and of course, the obvious path that this thing's taking, it depends on how long you want to be in the trade. So if I'm in 12 hours, it says my average trade is 12 hours in this account, which seems like a nice daily cycle. It's on fair value. Now it's back to fair value. Then it pauses. Then it goes sideways. Then if you have the trade plans to trade the way it's behaving, then everything's wonderful. Now, if I wasn't even in this thing right now, would I be selling above here? This price? Yeah, but pretty light, right? So sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you've got to change the whole thing based on how much money's in the account, because you could still have a cluster here of sells that cash out, not back to here. They take place in what ICT would call turtle soup scalp banks, is what I call them. So the market comes ripping up in. Imagine these are your sell tickets, and then it rips back out, and there's a big chunk of orders focused in here for some, whatever. And of course, you can afford it. This is maybe a $300 risk to make $150 high probability trade. And it's just sitting there like this sleeper cell. And it's just a minefield of stuff. And then you've got all the way up, right? Now, if you could do that on 28 pairs, then you're talking about some work, right? And if you did randoms, though, if you did double clicks of this psychotic one I have that goes 75 pips deep for 12 hours or something, when the market plunges down there, whether you like it or not, that's typically going to be an insane rate of change. 12 hours is able to go 75 pips deep. I'll buy that. Without looking at the chart, I would buy it. Just so even if I started buying below here right now, I'm up on every trade that I bought below here. So this is the unfair value. We come back to where the sellers do come in. The mechanical traders make money on this cascade down into this shelf. Everybody jumps on the, everybody takes advantage of this deep hole. And then, of course, it's left this behind. And this volatility is a little bit too much for a lot of people, but people that only trade at the market when it's down. So this is also the other kind of offsetting your stop entries and your limits. You need to have the robot that's going to come in, or it's going to buy because it's down here. Because if you bought, and dumped, that's a good trade. You could have had a limit here and got onto the sell train. Either way, And if you did do that, you're probably going to take something off the table as you come down into this mess and realize this is buy city for 25 pips of buy city without regard to anything other than the fact, and of course this drops so oh, smoothly. This is 4 hours just sheer down, but it's running out of that gust. Then this raid here, so to speak, where you start off the week like kind of going up, people are like, oh yeah, man, this is the fucking problem right here. And sellers are like, yeah, well, duh, this is the bottom becoming a top. They take it down. Then the backlash. This is after they try to impeach somebody. Oh, it turns out we've got more voters. Unfair. That's unfair value. So it's just like this pendulum swing of like, and you're saying I'm nuts? Dude. Get a mirror. So this is going to be the reaction point right here. We need to see a crush quickly. We get this down to about $3,800 of margin. And we can be on easy streets. We're done. We're done with this fucking account, okay? I'm sick of it. Get it to 30 grand, retire it. There you go. There's my trading. In 80 days. Not one manual trade in there. Everything's scripted. I'd say it's taking me 6,000 to 10,000 clicks to make this account go up. So I'm not going to move anything. Fuck them. I'm cashing out into every goddamn overprice. As it goes into unfair, it's going to go into turtle soup land now. And I suspect this is going to be the big contention. Right there. But I am cashing out as we step through the border and trap the goobers. They're buying now. This could come into here and rip back. So some of the problems with this confirmation stuff is, okay, I'm going to buy. It's going up. Okay, I'm in. I got my stop in. Oh, I like this trade. This is... What? Oh, fuck. Yeah, because bar by bar, there is a trade. You just went against, like, from my contrarian standpoint, people would be selling there. If it's up, you sell. Don't make too much money. It's up again, you sell. You did pretty good. Whereas when you buy here, what is it? Oh, it's going up, I'll buy. Oh, it's going up, I'll buy. So it's counterintuitive. It's against your nature. People are going to be buying here. There's no way I'm buying here. I'm going to cash out and let them have it. They can do whatever they want with this thing. I'm riding it all the way to the swings. I've still got laid in there, like, just let it go. It's my long-term target. So, it's enough already with these. These are the smartest people in the world trading this shit. Are you serious? You know this drift here is so ridiculous. Can we just go up? Here we go. So this would be the 6:30 in the morning. We should be cutting that, and then I'm thinking, let's get in on limits. The other one I wrote was the deeper version. I think I put about 7K in this. I got to be very careful that I don't over-click it because it's really getting in pretty hefty. This one, that's the 6 to the 18, actually made it deeper than it says. Another thing is, it's like setting your clocks forward, about 3 hours so you're not late. I like to make these numbers kind of fake in a way. Like, I'm going to put a number in there that looks like, wow, that's kind of conservative. Inside there, it could be worse or better? It depends on how many tickets. I didn't even write the ticket amount there, so you might want to write like how many tickets are inside this thing. This one I know these are 3 because I see that it goes 25, 75. I kind of know that's just going to be a classic every 25 pips like an idiot on the weekly. I did put that one trade in here. I kind of want to get rid of it, but oh, maybe it looks like it disappeared. So I had these limits pending in the dollar yen, which it can it's not moving very much right now, so it's not really a lot of fun to trade, I suppose. It looks like gold to me, where it's just doing this plowing, and of course that would have been a good short to hold last night, but we're not much up on that trade anyway, so I'm not going to want to watch this thing because my fear is that once we cave north here, we already took out this. If this is coming back, kind of just a little stop hunt here, and we got a wedge forming that if I'm not paying attention and I want to be kind of riding each thing I see, then I'll admit that they could just go flying up, and it's Disneyland above that. There's like nothing, no resistance to the top side of that, so it could just flail into the end of the universe, universe as we know it. So that's what spooks me about selling into these voids on the north side. See, this is pulling back to a top, and it could be a trap, but then what makes it kind of spooky is that you've got this giant cavern on the north side here. It gets sucked up into that, and for whatever reason, the dollar seems to be killing, the yen, because the yen sucks worse than. So I guess it's a pecking order here. Of course, that's why they have the currencies the way they are. Who's listed top side? Okay, so let me clean that up and go maximum zoom in. So here, the monthly, has the same void issue. Whereas if you make it above here, it looks just like the 4-hour euro dollar chart. You take this thing out, look out, right? Because there's a lot of space up there. Putting a sell stop here may be not the best idea if you're trying to trade with medium frequency. So putting a buy stop here and going, oh, I'm a turtle trader, or putting a buy stop here, yeah, look at you. You got in a stop entry system. It's all well and wonderful, but if you get in here, the rule is you put your stop here. Right? Because there's people going to go the other way on that train. You don't want to get clipped. Just like here, buy stop, sell stop, buy stop, sell stop. A little trapped on the north side when they take that out. Right? When they take that out. Kablamo, that's the trade. You're getting in there. That's the revolving door. That's when it just caves in. People can't believe it. Small pullback. Small pullback. This is very low noise chart, but hey, are the sellers really coming in here and this is really the pivot? Maybe. It's going to go like this next. Let's just do one price pulse. People start to do that. Well, it's going to come down here. It's going to go up here. It's going to come like Elliott wave. People are like, it's going to go. I'm like, just give me one price pulse and load a wagon on it. Just load the wagon on that one move. But yeah, this is very a big deal. This price. We've been here before. 109. So taking out that. Just a lot of space on the north. Here, I would put the buy limits in here, obviously, because if we are going to come back here, I just want to gobble that up. And bigger tickets here. It just looks like we're not going to make it there today. We're not coming down here today. Monthly chart, but the monthly chart does mean something right now. It really does, you know. So believe it or not, if we take this out coming in end of the week, you can only imagine what could happen. How bombastic this could throttle into the top. How the Swiss franc's pulling back a little bit. Gold looks like it's just going to go nuts to the upside. Like, brace yourself. If you're shorting gold, I would space your orders out. If you're getting into a limit strategy, this thing looks itching for a run to 17. It's got to catch up to palladium at least. So the no-nonsense guy with all his metallurgy, you know, he's missing the fact that there's a, you could do a spread between the two. You can look at, oh, look at this. Is what's the cheapest thing out there? Maybe silver is going to be the last thing to join the parade, you know, try to get to $50 again. And just depends what you're in and how big you're in, you know. I mean, if you're in the gold market, you're probably holding on to this going, you know what, this isn't bad. I'm going to hold my gold. So if you have any physical gold, I would definitely be dumping at 1700. I'd put it at cash out. I just do sector rotations. So, you know, this is what people try to do if they are going to try to maximize their money. That's the idea. 28 pairs, you're going to go and, oh, let's jump in this train. This one's about to leave the station. So you're trying to get in dojis. Basically, if your system, I bet any amount of money, if you took like a weekly chart, 28 pairs, and you're trying to find a doji, you're going to find one. So that's you're like, okay, let's build a position. Let's pick a direction. Let's just focus on this one here. Or just put about 10K in there. Should be that hard. Just hand place, pick 1 to 10. And just place them in, all those little nooks and crannies, and then just sit back and let the dominoes go where they're going to go. Okay. You can't stop what's going to happen. All right, so here we go. The pound is leaving the station. We held the top bottom on the OAND count last night. Nice setup here, just like we're getting the buy in the euro dollar. So euro dollar up, pound's got to take this out. Big sellers up in here. Duh, right? We could press a button right now. So just to show you that I have the button, I'm going to hit the button right now. And this is going to be 10 pips per hour on the pound. Now, it may not look like a good trade because maybe it should be 20 pips. I also do have that script down at the bottom here. So the very bottom, this is the beginning of my sell grid. I think it's appropriate this time to, disclaimer is that careful how you sell. So I'm going to go 30 pips in 3 hours. That is 1K with a break even. Let's see, I'm going to just like risk 10 pips to make 10 pips there, or 20 to make 20. Yeah, 20 to make 20. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's flip of a coin there. I noticed my account's only 57% win rate right now, but I got so much money because I got stopped out of my tight stop. So win rate doesn't mean anything. If you're back testing algos and stuff, 57%. This I'm getting in this account. I'll be at $30,000 here maybe by 6 o'clock in the morning. So here we are. That's the best I've got. I don't have a 40 pipper, so I really want to sell higher than that, and 12 hours and daily and weekly all up in here, right? So if I was going to sell, I like this one. I like everything up here, up. Of course, this is going to be the weekly tickets are up here. We could get there, but you know, it's more like boom, boom. We figure the market's not going to move in a straight line. We're going to make money from some of the zigzags just because of that. And like, right, this is Ryan Brown's robot got trapped in that and lost 39% of the account. So, we're going to put the forex flags at half staff for him this morning. We need a eulogy for. And some guy in the comments says, well, no legitimate trader would trade forex. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Legitimate. You bastard. What are you, range trading this thing? What the hell's wrong with you? We taught you better than that, son. You was going to be a trend trader when you grow up. Fucking market makers. You going to work for a big bank now, is you? You sold out, son. I seen you on the Discord talking trash about our no-nonsense guru. God, this guy, he just did another thing. Well, I shut down the emails. It's just costing me money and stuff. Everybody asking me questions like, how'd you do that? What makes you so special with that ATR filter and that one candle rule? What's going on there? Explain yourself. People are blowing their accounts up. No, nobody's making any money or losing money. Play it safe trading. And then he was running down the fact that these contests are just, they're just terrible. People are risking their whole account. Dude, when you're driving 100 miles an hour in your Ferrari, you're risking your whole life and the car. In the traffic, with the goobers that we got to drive around here, the smartest traders in the world, why is the chart so fucked up? Well, the big banks are manipulating the prices is what's going on, see? Really? I think it's just order imbalance. And don't forget, if they can't keep the power on in California, you think the banks got their servers running on? What if this is just a glitch on Soros's hotkey? You don't know that. God, these no-nonsense people, what in the fuck happened to their mind? It's like watching the kid at the Guitar Center with pure fucking distortion and chorus, can't tune his guitar. Because they got guitars like with they got this new thing where you put on the guitar and it's just like every note shows up in a light. Then you're like, well, wait a minute, and you're fighting it trying to tune the guitar because you're like, no, that's not the center, that's the G string. That's So honestly, if I had written a sell grid here for this pair, it's going to be every 20 pips for 8 hours, but more on the north side. 50 pips deep. You take those singles, just keep building these singles. You'd be surprised. Before you know it, you got 64 Crayola crayons available to trade any fucking thing out there. So it's just work, though. It's just keep plugging away with this shit, putting the fucking tickets in. This is the most spectacular engulf pattern on the planet. I should have known. When that guy was like, well, just stay in your lane. What are you doing talking about other traders? Look at your trading. Here, I'm going to do the same trade right now. Come to think of it. I see an implementation point here. I want to buy for 4 hours, and I'm going to buy 15. So I have the perfect fit kind of for this very conservative trading right now. So I'm going to just, here, 20 pips steep, 8 hours. We'll do singles, right? Singles, easy route, right? Down here, I don't know, is there news coming up? Super deep. What's the chance we come back there? Come on. It's a weekly chart, man. Get a grip. People are just incredible. See the daily. Perfect entry. We're taking out that low. Buyers are coming in. I want to be a buyer. I want to buy into that plunge. So here, it's only Wednesday. 33 pips stop to make 24 pips. Not the best ratio. 40 pips deep. 12 hours. 6. So this is a completely different risk here because now I'm asking the market to drop 40 pips in 6 hours. Can it do it? I'm creating my own auction down here. So this should be a 12-hour. This could be all day. I could come back and make each one of these a daily. And then you have to be careful when you double click that, all day long you're exposing yourself to getting in down here. Which may be the best thing in the world. If the euro goes up, this is probably going to tank. So correlated to that degree, but not by the same pip amount, of course, right? We got to clear the trees on the north side of the euro as the dollar Swiss crashes. And I want to see this Oanda account. I'm at $300. Tempted to get out, but 304 now. I'm about to get stopped out of my dumb shit New Zealand CAD trade. Why did I ever get into that? I'm up 40 cents on the top of the rack, though. Or the dollar CAD, I'm up 40 cents. Then here, I'm actually making money on New Zealand CAD here. I'm making back by 72 cents my loss. But you know what? It's okay they take me out because I want to free up the margin. And I just don't want to, I don't even want to look at it. As people are saying, oh, I overexposed myself because I got into 2 Australian dollar trades. Like, why are you trading the Singapore dollar? What has ever come to you? What do you think the liquidity is in that thing? How many people are trading that thing? So here I feel like, oh, geez, New Zealand CAD, didn't even know it was a pair. Here I'm stuck in this thing down fucking $10. Pissing me off. But I'm making money on my pound. No euro fills. I have the euro versus the pound. The Brexit. I'm up 20. I'm up on a 1K. Look at that. Dollar CAD. Should I get out? Let's see. That could be news coming out. I think we're trapped at the bottom. Who looks at all these pairs? Yeah, dollar CAD 11. Long, hog long on that. That thing is trapped in the bilge, so that is totally a hold, in my opinion. Killer trade. Now, the other thing you could do is, if you knew what you were in here and you could see, you could drop a 8K right now, single written script that gets in 25 pips deep for 12 hours. And you just click that. And now you're risking like $40. And maybe you want to move it, Maybe you want to get it on the screen and move it. There's also that. But as soon as you move that limit, make sure the stop and the target moves with it in lockstep. And you can see that. If you drag any of these tickets on the right side of the screen, you'll see the ratio. It should ride along with you. If it doesn't, it's because you drag the take profit or the stop. And if you do that, you will change the original ratios. But if you grab the actual entry pending point, the stop and the take profit will ride with you up and down. So if I was swing trading this, and I wasn't too big, I actually put maybe a stream of buy limits in there for 4 hours to try to capture a little black swan, so to speak, a little bit of pullback. But hey, news is coming out, and boy, this thing's under pressure, and it's stuck under this floor. I think this is going to be the target for a lot of people. And right here, we're challenging that bottom. We could still go down, though. Putting in different sizes here to pick up more, and then just go, you know what, I'm going into this thing. I'm really going to have a trail. So we're up $91. Waiting for some kind of news. Okay, crushing north. I got 3:45. I think all the markets are opening up in Europe now, so this will be the moment of truth, as they say. So daily, I'm not in it here, but here's the daily. Just about to take out the high from a couple days ago there, which is that wick, the high of the week. Okay, so there it is. Our target is, well, we took out the high yesterday. Now we got to go after that. So it's a high impact price, and then there's this big 30 pip window of doom. So I am cashing out into that, and it could go like this, after a few zigzags maybe. This is the big contention, because most people are going to sell at this doji thinking, well, okay, well this will certainly be another, if we take out that, and engulf till here, but I'd rather just cash out into that and definitely go flat here regardless, because then I could come in with sell limits here, so that I'd be totally, the account's totally filled to like 32,000 maybe. Or, well, this, not this account, because the other one actually I'm going to sell all the way into that. That's going to be the mission of that one account. But just because I'm trading the euro dollar on a swing account doesn't mean I can't get in here and scalp at the same time. So that's what I'm doing. I'm swing trading and scalping it all in the same currency pair. And I could do it from a buy-only standpoint also, because the pendings, the swing trade frequency might be every 12 hours, where the scalp is every hour or every 4 hours. Okay, so we're going after it right now. We're going to go after that high. Coming into the top of the hour, a big short squeeze here. Zoom in a little bit. Very simple chart there, but that's the line of scrimmage. So we're within about $1,700 of our target. Get to 30,000 here. And I'm going to buy this catch a falling knife here. I like the idea of a 12 hours. Every 5 pips I'm buying here. That's going to be 12 hours. So these could last a week. It would make a big difference in your bottom line. But, this is one case, so not as risky here. But United States, if you were going to put in this, you'd want to have like a 15 pip stop. Try to stop the bleeding, hemorrhaging. Plus, you might want to build a little iceberg pack, little power pack that's like starts at about, I'm thinking anywhere like in here. So you buy this whole zone here. You're buying a ton. Not because of that, although that is obviously the good idea, but it just so happens that if you buy this deep with kind of a soft stop here and your take profits are here, that when the market does that maneuver, here, they blew you out. But this, if you had a pack sitting here, right, you can imagine this iceberg order would have cashed out a little too early, right? But it just designed for, now if you make a 50 pip iceberg like this, a rack, and you drop it, okay, they kind of took you out here if you dropped it here as it's plunging. Here, you survived it, two loads of the gun, and you've got this nice thing locked in. But I like that idea because you could also just do the hand-placed racks, limit grids in here. It doesn't have to be that you're going to wait for the targets to get hit. Once you see the trade, you're like, okay, that's it. Okay, so we're going north here. I'm going to take out the high of the 10 minutes to 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so we're in the seller's window now. It looks like we peeled off about $300 in margin, so we're out of about a standard lot, or about 80. So we just peeled off 80K. And so here we go. We expect that to be a quick move to here, a little overshoot. The sellers come in. They're going to try to pull it back to here. Confirmation guys are going to buy here. Bullish confirmation people. They're putting buy limits here right now, I suspect. By 6 o'clock in the morning. So actually in about 9 minutes here we could pop above that. Okay, we're screaming up into it now. A lot of people cashing out, so I just peeled off another few bucks here. Try to get the balance up to like 2,300 with the equity sitting at 30,000 would be nice. So you get to about 23,000 in balance, and then exposure goes down also as we go up. So I would not buy here if I was not already in, because I just feel like they're going to pull it off this top here and it could be vicious. I'm going to fix the scale to see it here, but let me fix the scale here. Hurry up before the top of the hour comes to see how it responds to that price. This is what this guy was doing one day. He was scalping that window here, but you got to be careful. Okay, the sellers are coming in right now. Your sell limits are being triggered right now because you just took out that high. So this 25 pip window. Oh, I guess just about right there, so you can see it now. Also, you see the spread. So yeah, we tagged this point, and people have sold into that. The selling begins, and ideally, it's just going to smash into all these cash outs, and I'll be out. Otherwise, this is the big trap, and we could come all the way back to here now. Scenario number 2. Always a possibility. So, a lot of scalping going on here, and I'd say this is 60% scalping. My targets are like, we just got to go up like a few pips, and I'll be getting out. Another painful waiting game. Another confirmation people getting in here. So we go to the 5-minute chart. We'll see what the 5-minute traders say. With this view, we can go right to the 5-minute, and it will make sense. Structurally, new highs. Here's your top become bottom. Drift up on the 5. Here's the top bottom. Top bottom, just keep crawling up. Oversold. Higher price. Now it's just like, yikes. I suppose there's people willing to buy here. I don't pull back. Here, because now you got this big hole forming here. Now I would put some limits in to buy 5 minutes before the top of the hour. So let me double click a limit here. Show you that this pretty conservative actually is going to buy how about 3 pips deep for 15 minutes. right? So this is completely different than if this lasted for 3 days, right? Here, I'm going to buy every pip for an hour. Here, this is a pretty good one. 30 minutes, 8 pips deep. That'd be amazing. So, we got out of enough. We got to keep plugging north. So they're trapped. The bears have, the scalpers are winning now. They sold that top. They're probably going to cash out here. We're going to buy more there. So, but yeah, that's a high probability scalp off that, isn't it now? They're about to cash out. Maybe they're buying back here. The scalper's exit is the confirmation trend trader's entry. Breakout confirmation, people. It's the same setup. They would both agree on that. Somebody's up on that sell. Somebody out there in the world sold that. I guarantee you, somebody went short there. Or they cashed out like I did. I went short. This would be their target in this 5 pip window. The Psycho 5 pip window. And you got this 4-hour chart's going to update in an hour. So that would be the time to get out if you had to get your first take profit in for the bulls. That's going to be it. Well, the scalpers are getting in to take it back to here. So now I'm going to put in some more buy limits. But this is different now because the market's pulled back, so I can use the same tickets and have a different stop and a different take profit. Guaranteed. The singles is very low stress, so and you're risking like $3, $5, $2 a button press. Okay, have these scalpers had their way with this? If this is a breakout, are the confirmation traders coming in on that? Is it over for the... Stay tuned. But that's really what these markets are like. And of course, at this critical window, the 4 o'clock, crazy. So there's definitely a lot of activity in this window. So the scalpers are kind of like, you know what, hopefully the confirmation guys got in here, and now we can go to the 5-minute chart. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so they kind of like pulled back to this breakout point. The trend traders, or the people that run trailing buy limits, got picked up on something. Not me. I put mine in 3 pips deep. And that was kind of it for the scalpers maybe, because now we're going to rip north. So see how the 5-minute chart at the top of the hour is the culmination of that fight. Like the 5-minute guys are wrapping it up. And then the 1-hour guys are wrapping up their charts right now. So are the half-hour guys and the 15-minute traders, and the 4-hour traders. We're looking for it to go into this giant mess on the north side. So you finally put an end to the can you take $2,000 and make $26,000 in 70-day rule? Well, that's just gambling what she's doing there, son. I told you we as trend traders don't trade reversals here. Now, as the founder of No Nonsense Trading, I'd like to just say a couple things. I'd like to say this about that. We caught one of our... Yeah, we caught him. He was reversal trading in the back room. No, we're not happy about it. Wait till we tell his parents what he's been doing. Okay, I'm definitely getting out at the 71 level. Let's see. I want to go flat. So as we go up, we're coming back to retest that window. Another chance for the scalpers to sell it again. There you go, 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if there's news coming out. Very rambunctious. So I think the bears are scared. Sometimes you see this, you buy back you hurry up and get out because you're like, oh, I think it's going to go up now. Yikes. Okay, so at the 70 level, it's going to be... Okay. We got to make it to the 50, so let's not worry about it. Yeah, I have 70 exits. 75. 71. So I do have that in. Looking at the daily chart. Can ride into the... Try to go after that doji that's at the 25. Another 10 pips north. And we can cash out. Then we can take a break. And let it drift up. Depending on which work you want to do, I mean, you can still buy in limits trailing behind it, I suppose. But yeah, if we hit this thing, that's the daily chart. We hit there by the end of the week up at 70s. That's fine. Just want to get this scalp out of the off the table here. So we're kind of trapped. We're in the seller's window, certainly because we're on the top of this day. That day's right there. Five-minute traders are coming in here in 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes left. Holy shit, so. Still could make it up 2 more pips here in 2 minutes, so. A lot of volatility in that 10-minute window. All we got to do is take out that high from 10 minutes ago. That should get crazy then. We should see the wheels come off a little bit to the north. Then a big backlash. Another misfortune of the fumble, the trap. Still got my limits waiting for a pullback. 1 hour chart. So we're trapped in this breakout here. Might have to have people take it back one more time to that price. Let me put in a rectangle there. So a lot of people are waiting for this before they go long. There we go. Got filled. My limits adding to the position. So the scalpers waited in 10 minutes. They made what? Right, look at that. Look at that amazing volatility in 10 minutes. Look at how vicious that is. I picked up 2K on that. Okay, now 5-minute guys are on it. Is that the end? Is it right over? Is that the big trap? So if that's a big trap, then we still got $5,000 of margin we're in this thing. So let's add on limits now. I'm going to put this crazy ticket in that's like super dense now. This 8-hour buy limit, that it's very aggressive for 8 hours, but set it and forget it. Right there. But it's pretty deep. Then I'm going to put the singles in again. They're just like 3 pips deep. Half hour. A little more risky than 4 pips deep for an hour. So yeah, once again, huge selling off of that top, that wick. Scalper's delight back to here. Here's the entry for the trend traders if we ever make it back here. They would want to go in that setup. But pretty successful for people waiting to have the balls to step in here and put their limits above this wick and more above here, so you actually sell heavier above that for the high probability rip back. You can make $100 there. Shit, easily, right? So look at them. They're making more than that now. Look how deep they pulled that back. So that was a scalp. I'm holding the swing now. Still long. Nice performance at the top of the hour. Very dramatic, as usual. Forex is like that. It's illegitimate. Look at that. Trap. Coming after my buy limits again. So I'm going to buy in limits here. This looks like the obvious trade to me. But yeah, we could have cashed out the whole thing there. We would have $28,000. I don't think this broker could get out of it fast enough, though. So that may not have worked out at all. Okay, so back to 15. This was the obstacle earlier, and now it should be support in some level. What was resistance should become support. But I'm going to buy this pullback on limits. Still got 2 hours to go before the U.S. markets open. Oh, just picked up a few tickets. Look at that. The margin just went up. Okay. The singles is the best way to go because it's really hard to get hurt. Big win for the scalpers there. In 1 hour, they have made 10 pips at least. All they did was sell at the top of the hour, right? The market bot. And then if it's down, here comes the buy bot, and now you're in a winning hedge, right? Of course, the sell bot is looking for a big up move to sell. Big up move, sell, sell. Making money on the pullback. Okay, here we another disconnection from this broker's freaking out because everybody's going long here. Them big bankers are crashing my servers. God damn it, Jake. What'd I tell you about getting that fucking fiber optic in here? Son of a bitch. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. Wait. Alright, so I'm still holding. I picked up a few tickets. Look at that. I said I was going to do that earlier. If we go ripping up, I'm going to put limits in to catch another failed impeachment. Okay, waiting again. I'm going to delete these arrows. Okay, that's about all I can do for this account. So I always make sure I hide this, because the last thing I want to do now is get out of this position accidentally. Okay, so what do the 5-minute guys say? And don't forget, it's only been 15 minutes. It's hard to believe, but this all happened in 15 minutes. Look at that. Oof. We do some stop hunting there. That was a great place to buy. Don't want to be buying up here. Okay, now we want to go take this out. Scalpers have had quite a feast on that counter trend, guys. And all they did was sell up into that hole and buy back into this hole. And that's the whole tactic on that. We're waiting for the 15-minute traders to chime in on this one. We want to hear a view from the 15-minute guys. Like, wow, look at that. Oof. I'd say that's just kind of heating up a little bit, that market there. It's getting all spiky. So 15 minutes, these guys are getting ready to pull the trigger on a buy. They may not get it, but they'll buy. They're going to buy the confirmation of this pullback to here. Right? They're like, oh, breakout, pullback, and like even a deep discount. Like I picked up some of this just on my, just buy 3 pips deep for 15 minutes. Well, look at that. So these orders, some of these are going to disappear within an hour. The ones down here last longer. That's the idea. Because what is the chances that, okay, so everybody's cashing out here. All the scalpers, you can see they're like, uh-oh, we're out. The 5-minute guys are like, we're out. That was amazing wick. Right, how was that? Came right back to the floor. They're out, so you fall through this hole, you buy it up, you dump. They're out. Now they're going to hand it off to the, well, I guess the trend traders are in. And they're going to hold maybe. And now we got to come after this guy's stop, this guy's stop. Anybody that sold this, what if it backs up on them? If you sold here, are you running a trailing stop to here? Like, well, you know what? If they stop me out, I can't lose. I'm going to, yeah, but surely you should have thought about getting out here on something. So 5-minute chart is tradable at this time of day because look how bombastic it is. Even the scalpers that run 15-minute limits. So even if we were here, which we were, and I put limits in as you saw. So when we were here, I'm buying 3 pips deep. When we're here, I'm buying here for 15 minutes, for half an hour, for just that simple trade. Now it could keep tanking, but people that want to make that many pips are out. They have to be. If they have a single trade on and they just bought, well, I just bought down here actually. I'll put an order here on this, the deepest low I could find. So this is a good place to get in, a good place to get in. No fill here. 2 tickets filled, it comes back to here, you get out. High probability trade, don't you agree? Did you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do that trade? That's another thing. And would you even buy here if you looked at the other time frame and you said, oh my God, it's in a downtrend. Can't you see my 20 EMA? Can't you see my baseline, dude? Get out of here with that fucking no-nonsense. Can't you see my baseline? That's why there's fights on the internet about trading, because people are like, I thought you were talking about this high back here. You're talking about that high there on the 3-minute chart? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying. No, you don't. No, I do. I see what you're saying, but no, I see what you're saying. 15-minute traders, they bought that on the market on the pullback. They don't care. So we wait. The market bot's stalking this, waiting to buy if it's down again. The scalpers have had their way with this wick. They bought the plunge into that hole. They got out at the floor of that hole. They are done with it. So it just depends what time frame you're in. So we're looking for this thing to go up into 6 o'clock in the morning. But now it's getting kind of crazy choppy, so we're trapped in here for the moment. This is the new normal for the moment. So also we kind of came back to here, you could say. Of course, I don't think that no, that is the breakout confirmation trader's entry actually. So if you didn't buy this on a buy stop, your second chance to get aboard the train was here at the exact same price. So what a lot of people do is they go, well, okay, I get that there's a breakout. Actually, there was a pullback here, too, and then there was this pullback to like the big, longer-legged confirmation. So we could still take out this, we could still take out that, and that, and that, and keep tanking because we got 2 hours to burn. It's going to take forever. That's the problem with trading. It's just to take forever, anyways. Okay, so I'm just going to ride this storm out on this currency pair. By 6 o'clock, we have to be above this 1125, 111.25. Otherwise, it's just going to be running out of gas. And then it's going to be, okay, I guess these guys are going to win. The people that sold here are still enjoying benefits. Same with the people here. They're still up on that trade. This is the pullback point. So we've been to that already. And people got aboard the train there. But, so that's got to hold here. This is a breakout point. The 15-minute traders feasted on that. So this is what the scalpers got out here. You can see they were wise to get out there, right? The buy scalpers. Because look at, it could come down again. It could go lower. It could go after this. The 15-minute traders at the bottom of the hour, if this is down, I guarantee you they're buying it. Because it just pulled back. They're assuming it's in an uptrend. They're buying every pullback. So the bigger the pullback, so you bought here this pullback, you'd buy this pullback. Maybe that's it, Here's a kind of a sharp pullback, so maybe a 3K. And then, this was the bottom that became a top on the 15. 15's pretty doable. You can see kind of what's going on here. Here's your little flag, your doji. Sellers in this little fractal window. They cashed out a little bit there. Then we ripped into this thing. Took a while to get back here. Also, the people that sell there are buying back, going, uh-oh. This was the cause for all this velocity here, so why such a big move here? It's the cause is going to be that right there. So you see the scalpers came in on that one too. This 15-minute window, selling into that was this bar, and then it came back. And you could have cashed out. You were kind of cashing out into this pivot on the wicks. So now the bulls are hoping that the people that missed out on this, buying this, they're going to come on down here and stop out this guy and I'll get in here. Or wait till the bottom of the hour and buy at the market. So if you bought here at the market and here, you're about to buy here. Or you're like, you know what, I'm just going to put limits in like this. So you have your choice. You can put limits here. The deeper they are, the longer they last. 4 hours down here maybe. Oh, look at this. We're getting another bonus pullback. So another chance to get on the train here. And I'll just let my limits. We put some denser limits in. Here's a half-hour script. It's going to buy 4 pips deep. And the market pot's waiting to pull the trigger. Also, if you're not getting filled on your limits because you're being too stingy, then you're just going to have to put them closer or trade at the market. Okay, I don't know if there's news coming up, but this is the moment of truth. Of course, it always seems to be that. I got to believe there's tons of people willing to buy that if they can get it. And people will be selling above that. This is all we know right now, and we're kind of, if you think that this is fair value range, the new fair value, then you're kind of like at the bottom end of it. And if you went to here, a lot of people are going to cash out. They're like, you know what, that's the middle. I bought the bottom. I'm going to cash out here. That's plenty enough money for me. And it really could be. Okay, we're coming back to that scalpers floor where everybody got out on the short side. And let's see what they're going to do now. We've got a low volatility situation under the floor. Are we going to go down here, or are we going to pop above there and keep going up and take this out? In the 5-minute chart, I think the 5-minute traders bought this pullback. They bought that one, and they bought that, so they're in a 3K. They bought here. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay. They're holding, or three standard lots. Maybe they have a stop here. Maybe they got a tight stop on one of these tickets, a really wide stop. Take profit into this floor. Take profit above that. Take the other one way out there. Way out in Disneyland, way on the north side. Such a drama for this market to go up, isn't it? Switching time frames, you know. But look at this. I mean, this is a lot of volatility. Okay, 5 minutes before the bottom of the hour. The 15-minute guys are itching to pull the trigger, not to mention the half-hour guys. If their rule is, their one candle rule would be, if it's down, buy. And of course for them, are they getting an opportunity? Well, no, it's gone. And here's the half-hour opportunity setting up. So the 15-minute guys, they're on it. We're waiting for this to update. We could buy at the market. At the half-hour top, become a bottom on the line chart. And that would be a good trade, a good logic plan, in my opinion, is if you're a buyer, then every half hour it's down, you buy. And hopefully you're cashing out as it goes up. We're waiting for 4 minutes left to see if the half-hour traders are going to come in and buy this. Or we know they would. Of course, we'd buy heavier on a small pullback. The other criteria is that if it's a small pullback, we buy with a tighter stop. Big pullback, wider stop. Okay, they can't seem to hold it down here. So, yeah, the 5-minute traders are really kind of the guys that are killing it here. 5-minute guys are they're like, holy shit. Wow. Sellers are coming back in again here on this little window. They kind of trapped the 15-minute breakout guys there. So, sellers here. Buyers here again. I'm buying on limits here, and they're trapping the breakout traders on the 15 there. So the guys that buy at the market are winning because when it's down there up on the trade, where the rhythm guys are making money. The people that trade confirmation breakout are like, okay, well, you know, I'm following my system. I paid $500 for the course, and you know, this is what they say I got to do to be a successful trader. And I'm going to follow. I know it's going sideways, but I'm just going to do what my system says. I built these indicators for a reason. I built this algorithm for a reason. People, we have a mission. I like the mission statement when you get to somebody's website. My mission statement on my website is going to be, don't trust anything you read on this site. Just asterisks and disclaimers. Step into the world of flat earth trading. All right, we're stuck in the middle of fair value here. What's it going to be? Come on. What's it going to be? Okay, we're waiting. Half hour, guys. Come on. Here we go. Half hour traders got to make a decision. They sold a half an hour ago. Is the trade working? Do they have to buy it back? Is this going to fuel more buying? One minute left to decide. 15-minute guys are like hoping that they pull it back here so they can buy one more. Five-minute guys are like, uh-oh, we're in that window. Yes. Here we go. Half-hour charts are updating. The 1 hours. If it by 5 o'clock it's back, the 1 hour guys are buying too. Okay, there you go. We got 20 seconds left for the half hour. Below 19. So we've been to 23, so this is like a 4-pip pullback. And, well, boom. There you go. So the half hour guys are buying. The 15-minute guys are not. The 5-minute guys are like selling. They sold. If it's up, they sell. And we're waiting for another pullback on the 15 to buy more. So I should probably buy at a quarter to, if it's down, I'll buy at the market. So that's how it should go, like that. Okay. So let's take another break from this insanity and wait for a trigger pull on the 15 to add to the long position. 15-minute chart's about to update, and I was able to buy this at the market as they made a new low on the 15 there. So it was kind of quick and dirty. It came down there and I bought at the market. I didn't think we were coming back. So also the 5-minute traders pulled the trigger there, and the 15-minute traders, there was no chance to buy. There's no chance left to buy. So if you bought there and you put a stop on that wick, I guess you survived that. Now we're still coming after this. It may be over for the scalpers that sold here. Confirmation guys that come in here. 4-hour chart. To see what happens here now. So we're waiting for this to finish off. Take out that high. Again. We need more follow through. We got to make it to the 50-yard line now. Way up here. This is the next target. So on the way there, we'll be cashing out. On the way to this. From here. Pure cash outville. And then maybe by the end of the week, we go higher. 15-minute guys, are they going to get a chance to get on the train? Update in 10 seconds here. Okay, well, it's up right now. Just got to power through the high of the day there. Confirmation, people. Top became a bottom. Breakout pullback. Now we got to take out that high, otherwise this is just nothing but a trap up here. It's one or the other. One hour. In 15 minutes, the 1 hour traders, if it's slightly down, they would buy. They may not get a chance, but 15 minutes, still got hope there. Okay, now we're waiting for the top of the hour.